you're about to break a record with this fight. 28 UFC appearances, most in company history. Does that carry special meaning for you?
You know, it does and it doesn't. You know, I mean, it's not what I set out to do. But you know, right now I'm tied with a group of gentlemen that I have a lot of respect for and that have really left their mark on the sport and the organization. So to kind of pull into the lead a little bit, Bisping's going to catch back up, but it is cool. It's definitely a feather in the cap, and I've been able to do it in a pretty fast time compared to those other guys. All those other guys. I mean, Bisping was in the UFC a few years before I was, and it's.
And you're here, but it was a tough one to come together, right? You were having trouble finding an opponent. Why do you think that is? Maybe it has to do with the fact that you pretty much fought everyone at this point?
I don't know. I don't know why it was difficult to find an opponent. I was practically banging on Sean Shelby's door trying to get a fight, and I had to take to Twitter. I had to have a few guys call him up saying my name, and that's what I did. I wasn't picking anybody out. I really didn't even get after anybody. I just kind of questioned if they wanted to fight me, and a few guys took it personally, and I don't know why it was more difficult to find the fight, but I'm a fighter, and I like to fight every couple months, and I'm not looking to take 6 months off between fights.
So, and then you got Francisco Trinaldo, who, I mean, it's interesting. He's a good fighter. He was on a bit of a streak there for a while, but at the same time, he's not that big of a name. He's a dangerous fight who, might not leverage you much. Did you think about that, or like you said, you just wanted an opponent when they said Trinaldo in Brazil? Was it an immediate yes?
Pretty much an immediate yes. Yeah, and I've never fought in Brazil. I've been down here once when my brother fought in 2011, but I was only here for like 2 days. And there is this level of like intensity. I mean, that when he fought in Rio, it was just a really intense fight. Like just the venue, being cage side felt different. The passion from the fans, and they're yelling things that we don't, I don't understand because I don't understand Portuguese, only the bad words. But I wanted that. I wanted to experience it, and I've been really excited for this fight. And just the experience overall.
Moving forward, the one thing that you haven't had yet in your entire UFC career is a title shot. You're coming off a skid, so it might take a little while to get there, but is that something that still weighs on you? Like, obviously every fighter wants to be a champion, but is it something that is that fire like alive in you, or would you be okay with never like getting that shot?
It's definitely still burning. I mean, the sport's all about timing. I mean, you look at just Kevin Lee getting the opportunity to fight for the interim title. He was ranked number 7. I was ranked like 3 and 4. And I didn't get my shot. I was 9-1 in the organization, and there was just injury and rematch after, and just things didn't pan out right for me at that time. And then I had ups and downs for a little bit. So it really just comes down to timing and being able to, to grasp that golden ring while you have the opportunity, while you're standing at your tallest. So I know that I can compete with any of those guys. It's just a matter of showing up and being myself. So I'm gonna keep doing this as long as I can, and keep going out there and fighting as hard as I can.
And lastly, you're the kind of fighter who you can afford to have like skids and things like that because you've done so much, you've gotten so many bonuses, you're an asset to the company, but you're coming off 2 losses. Is there still in your mind, after all this time, pressure to win? Like, is that something that you're concerned with getting a third straight loss, or is at this point is it something that maybe weighs a little less on you?
It always weighs on you. You know, every fight's the most important fight. You know, when you're on a 2-fight win streak, it's like, well, I need to make it to 3. You know, when I was on a 7-fight win streak, it's like I need to make it to 8. There's the same amount of pressure to win every fight. And I think if somebody's looking at it differently, then their viewpoint is a little skewed. Because yeah, everyone's important, and you got to go out, and it's an unfortunate thing that it gets said and that it's got a little weight to it. But you know, the whole "you're only as good as your last fight" thing, I think it's bull. But it's unfortunately, it's still kind of is the case.